Have you ever prayed for a sign and you don't know if you're ever going to get it, or you don't know if it's actually going to happen, or you don't know if you're going to ever receive it? If your answer is yes, watch this video. My name's Emmanuel, and today I'm gonna be talking about signs from God. And I just want to start this off by saying God speaks to us in the weirdest ways possible. He makes things happen in the weirdest ways. He will make things happen that may seem contradictory to what you're praying for. He may allow things to happen that are completely against, at least in your mind. If you're trying to go from here to here, God's not going to make you go straight to here. He's going to have you go like this. You get the idea. So it's contradictory. Like, if you're supposed to get here and you're here, how are you going to get there by going the opposite direction or going up or down? You get the idea. So God will make those things happen. Sometimes it's for certain lessons. Most of the time I've noticed it's actually for patience. We need to learn to be patient. That's what's going to allow us to actually fully receive and enjoy that blessing that we may be asking for. And sometimes when you're in the valleys, you're wondering like if he actually gives you a sign. And he does. I want to talk about a story in Exodus with Moses and the burning bush. Essentially what happened, it's in Exodus 3 verse 1 through 12, yes, where Moses ends up seeing he ends up going on this mountain. There's a burning bush, and the bush was burning, but it wasn't actually, like, it was on fire, but it wasn't actually like burning up. Moses gets closer, and God called to him from the middle of the bush, saying, "Moses, Moses, here I am." And then Moses replied, "Here I am." And then God told him to take off his sandals, for he's standing on holy ground. And then the Lord tells him, "I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cries of distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of the suffering." So essentially what's happening right now, God is telling Moses to go save the people from Egypt, his people, because they're slaves. Then Moses asked God, "Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt?" Next up, God said, "I will be with you, and this is your sign." See, this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God at this very mountain. So here we go again of talking about signs and God. Sometimes God may be putting you through a trial in your life where, same thing as Moses, God told Moses to go free the people from Egypt, from the Pharaoh. Who is this random guy, Moses? Well, he's not random, but like, in the eye of the world, who is this random guy, Moses, supposed to go up to the Pharaoh, which rules over all of Egypt, to ask him to release God's people? You see what I mean? So that's where we also need to stay strong in our faith. And that's why God specifically says in verse 12, "I will be with you, and this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you." And there's a couple other ways God can talk to you, or God can give you signs. Most of the time, it's actually through Scripture. God talks to you through Scripture instead of actual physical signs. Oftentimes I actually pray for something, and I pray for an answer, and then I open the Bible. I grab my Kindle and I click on a random book, random verse, and it completely speaks to me, like it answers my question, and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, this is definitely not by coincidence. It's Scripture that God answers our prayers through, and sometimes it could be people. Sometimes God may send a certain person to you to actually speak to you about something, and that's happened to me before plenty times, and it's actually kind of creepy almost, because it happens in such a way which you kind of know from the bottom of your heart that it's not a coincidence. And here's the thing, whether it's scripture, people, sometimes God may close certain doors in your life to give you an answer. Say you really want a job, and we got a jet flying around. Say you really want a job, right? And you apply for it, you really, really, really want it, but God closes that door. He makes it fall through. You don't end up getting the job, and then you get upset, like, God, why is this happening to me? Only for you 3 months later to find a position for a much better paying job that actually you enjoy doing a lot more. So he may end up doing certain things a certain way, and he may not give you an instantaneous sign to what's going on in your life, because he wants you to put your trust in him, and he wants you to learn to have patience. Oh, I kind of don't like that word, patience. Like, we live in a world where everything is instantaneous, but we do need to learn patience, and that's what a lot of people are missing, including me. I've learned to have a lot more patience, but I'm still not to a point where I'd want it to be. So again, whether it's through people, scripture, incidents, whatever the case may be, God can talk to you. God will talk to you. God will give you a sign. And the more you pray and the more you stay strong in your faith, the more you will understand what's happening and what's going on. Not just that, but God will make it happen in such a way in which you would have never expected it to happen. And that's what I find a little bit, not odd, but I find it interesting. Again, God orchestrates everything to happen in such a specific way where we don't even know what's going on half the time when we find ourselves in that situation. And if you find yourself trying to force a circumstance into seeming like a sign, it's probably not a sign. Let's be honest. So, yeah, God does speak to us. You just have to look for it. You just have to seek him out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. God bless.